Bloomberg Audio Studios.
Podcasts, radio, news.
Which is why I'm delighted to speak to Reid Hoffman, not just LinkedIn co-founder and Greylock partner, but a serial entrepreneur and somebody who has founded several AI companies and will continue to do so. And what I've learned is that $100 million is the clearing price in the market for frontier model AI talent. But we're laughing, but actually that's the debate here. Why is $100 million reasonable or unreasonable?
Well, so essentially, one of the things that's good about having an open marketplace of anything, including labor, is that you essentially get multiple bidders, and that's what sets a price. And so the fact that someone goes, I'm willing to spend $100 million in order to get this talent, you think, that's crazy. Why would they possibly do this? Higher than the vast majority of CEOs, et cetera. Well, if that one, what you're judging is that one talent will potentially create billions of dollars of value for you, whether it's in a social network, whether it's in, a search engine, anything else as a way of doing it. And so if you think that, then that's just a bold bet.
What Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, said was that particular figure, which he had accused Meta of offering to some OpenAI staff, what he claimed was it was crazy. But it sounds like it's not crazy, really.
Well, I don't think it's crazy when we know that AI is going to transform all businesses and all industry and the entire tech industry. And these are trillion-dollar companies, et cetera, at the high end, and a whole stack all the way through down into billions.
Today, for a brief moment, one of them was a $4 trillion company.
Yes, exactly.
Please continue.
Yes, yes, NVIDIA. And so so saying, hey, this piece of talent is a risk-adjusted bet that makes a difference in that's just a risk bet. You might say it's a dumb risk bet, but it's not dumb to do if those are the stakes you're playing for.
I'm a student of Silicon Valley history. You were there, with respect. And there was a time where CEOs would email each other, and say, don't take my people. Okay, I won't if you don't take my people. We had the sort of poaching agreements saga in the mid to early 2000s. Is this different in this? Is it just the reality of a marketplace?
Well, I think it's much, I think when you email and say don't take each other's people, that's bad for antitrust, that's bad for labor laws, that's bad for the right thing to do relative to talent and people. Obviously, as the founder of LinkedIn, I'm kind of in the, hey, we should match the talent to its best possible outcome. Now, so that was a bad thing to be doing. I'm glad we're not doing it now. Now, what we do still, of course, want is we want people to engage in serious work at serious companies, and as opposed to hey, I'm being paid this much here this month and that much there this month. You've got to still be no, let's get the work done. Let's build the new future. That's more of my worry on the bidding, not whatever prices it gets to.
You are no longer a board participant of OpenAI, so I put that out there, but you understand the company and you understand its structure. Why is this sort of restructure held up? And is that having an impact on their ability to hire or retain talent, do you think?
I haven't heard that it's had a negative impact on their ability to hire, because everyone knows that OpenAI is one of the amazing new tech companies of the current batch. I think that the restructure it's a very challenging thing to kind of move from where a 501c3 to a public benefit corp, especially when you have lawsuits being filed and refiled and all of this, and academics saying it's a terrible thing to happen, and so I don't know exactly what the impediments are, but it's a challenging process.
If you were to guess, and again, I'm delighted to be sat with you on a day where there was such news flow, OpenAI and I.O., Johnny Ives thing, it closed. What do you suspect it is that they're building?
Well, so I don't know. I've never been told. But if it were me, I'd build a phone.
A phone. Because the reason I ask at the root of it is every day, how do I interact with a generative AI tool in particular, which is an app? It's through my smartphone.
Yes.
You?
Yes, exactly. No, a smartphone. And look, I'm a little older. I still use a laptop every so often.
You have, as I said at the top, been a serial entrepreneur. Recently, you've also backed brain implant space.
Yes.
That is a somewhat crowded field. Why did you move into that area, Reid?
Well, it's a little bit different than brain implant. It's called Sanmai, and it's ultrasound. Now, by the way, ultrasound might actually be one of the really great things for both reading and writing from the brain, because you can read, but you don't have to stick things in, right? And part of the reason I backed it is because they're using AI. I'm basically an AI investor to get this ultra low frequency, much less energy than your phone, in terms of focusing it on one part of the brain. The tool set for creating brain therapeutics on all kinds of things, anything from anxiety to serious, dementia stuff, it's an amazing possible tool set, and that possibility is the thing I invested in.
I found that so interesting that you moved into that field. I'm jumping around a bit, but across all of this is the anxiety of jobs. Many of your peers have come out and made bold proclamations of how many jobs will be eliminated by AI. I've not had the chance yet to ask you for your prediction, and so may I?
So yes, look, the far future, no one really knows. Anyone who says definitively there's going to be lots fewer jobs or definitively there's going to be lots more jobs, to say that definitively is to undercut the credibility of what you're saying. Now, I describe this as the cognitive industrial revolution. I think it has the same impact as the industrial revolution, but now in like knowledge work and information work and language work and everything else. There's both the good and the bad of that. The good is none of this of our current modern society works without the Industrial Revolution. That's what creates the economics and prosperity for a middle class, for democracies, for Western societies, etc. On the other hand, the transition is very difficult.
Right.
The transition into the industrial age was challenging. So I think we're both going to get the transition, which will be a lot of job transformation, initial job loss, eventually, I think, job regaining and transformation, and ultimately a lot of prosperity. But we need to embrace.
Let's tie this all together through Reid Hoffman, the investor. How have you adjusted your own financial planning and investment strategy based on the talent war we discussed, but also your jobs outlook?
Well, so I'm still investing a ton in AI companies and tech companies. And for example, people frequently say, well, you're going to need fewer software engineers. And actually, in fact, I think not only we're not going to need fewer, I think we'll still have call it 10 million software engineer developers, across the, Western world. But I think what's going to happen is actually even you are going to start doing software development, because everyone's going to have a co-pilot for doing some of their task with a software engineer helping them.
Right.
And so we're going to have many, many more software engineers.
Reid Hoffman, Greylock partner, LinkedIn co-founder, serial founder of AI companies.